Will you open up with me? These pages, they can feed your innermost desires. Do you feel inspired? Are you getting what you need? Are you coming curiously? A secret safe with me. And here you can simply be yourself. Jace reads romance. Come on in, come on in, come on.
Hi, y'all. This is Jace, she, they, and you found Jace Reads Romance, a community dedicated to empowering women about sex and sexuality through the reading of romance novels. I am loving these forearm minisodes a lot more than when I bottled them up for a few months. I feel like these micro doses are the correct way to go in the future.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I like them even more now that you don't like send me any ahead of time. So everything is a surprise now.
She had to tell me to stop because I kept sending them to her. But if you did not know, here at Jace Reads Romance, I started to notice that the authors I was reading were getting a little, I think, enthusiastic, overly enthusiastic in their descriptions of forearms, multiple adjectives, multiple mentions. And I found it very strange when there are so many beautiful body parts like chests, like thighs, like eyes, like your hair, like whatever it is. Forearms just seem to get a lot of attention, especially compared to, you know, its proportion to the rest of the body. So we started, so I started noting what these descriptions were and sharing them. And we're a few episodes in, and there are so many consistently that we have decided to do these as monthly minisodes. When they're going to drop each month, I don't know. It just depends on when I can get my act together and put them in a document for Steffi. But Steffi, I have already ordered these for you.
Yay!
You don't have to wait for me to do this. So the first episode was so great. Go listen to it because it ends on such a good one.
Such a good one.
Such a good one. And I got some flack from Steffi because some of the other episodes weren't as neatly organized. And so I have learned my lesson. And if I don't want to be scolded by teacher, I must pre-organize my quotes.
Y'all, I am not that bad. Don't listen to Jace.
She's not that bad. But I get a little bit of side eye. So I need my gold star. I need my Lark style gold star. Okay.
Okay.
For my regular listeners, I will absolutely, I'm sure, miss quotes from audiobooks because I am not that great at annotating audiobooks yet. So if you follow along on social media, you know what books I read last month. You know that there was a forearm quote in Leather and Lark or King of Battle and Blood, and I missed it. I am just not that good at grabbing those quotes. I apologize. I'll work on it. My guess is, though, audiobooks are just going to stay in audiobook land.
It's okay. I feel like there's a lot of other factors in audiobooks that you're contending with that you're not necessarily contending with a physical copy of a book.
Yeah. So right now, this one has 8 different books. I read 21 books in the month of June. So more than a third of the books mention forearms. And we have our book with the most mentions of forearms ever.
Ooh, ever? Oh my goodness.
It is significantly more than we've had before. But we're going to start slow. We're going to ease into this. The book is American Queen by Sierra Simone. And the first of 2 quotes is, "He's shucked his jacket, leaving him in a white button-down shirt. His sleeves are rolled up, exposing tan, muscular forearms."
Okay. My first thought.
Yeah.
Why were his sleeves rolled up under his jacket?
Oh my God, I didn't even notice that, but now that you've said it, that was so uncomfortable.
so uncomfortable. This big bulge like halfway up his arms. Like, what?
Oh my gosh.
That's what it makes it sound like.
No, now that you've said, I think my brain just wouldn't comprehend it like that. And I was like, there's no way it could be that. But you are correct. It says he's taken off his jacket, leaving him in a white button-down shirt where the sleeves are already rolled up. Oh, okay. Ooh.
It just sounds so awkward.
Yeah, it feels wrong in a bad way.
A bad way.
So you might like the second quote better.
Okay.
His sleeves are rolled up to his elbows, exposing strong, sinewed forearms that flex and harden as he closes the door behind himself and then shoves his hands in his pockets.
The sinew. I love that word, but it's
a
always, it is a good word, but it's always, when they're describing the forearms, it's like, that's the go-to. That is the go-to.
Right? I don't understand this. I don't get it. I also love that flex and harden.
Harden. I know.
Oh my God. And the other, like, these are, I don't know what it is. It could just be what I do because this is what I do all day long. But I feel like the descriptions of forearms are so phallic in nature. They just are.
Oh, didn't we decide on one of the previous episodes that forearms are now secondary sexual characteristics? Like I
think at this point they have to be.
They have to be.
Have to be. Okay. So this is a different perspective of that same action from Dark City Omega by Elizabeth Stevens. Finally, he sighs and removes his suit jacket. He tosses it to her and unbuttons his cuffs, then begins methodically rolling up his right sleeve. Oh my God. Why is this so attractive? I've seen his forearms before, but watching the starched white material move slowly up, over his tan, scarred skin, watching the muscles ripple beneath it, standing taut, then relaxing. Oh my.
Yes to all of that. But I feel like that is like the embodiment of anyone who has a forearm. Like, can we call it fetish? Is it kink? Like, what's the word? An attraction?
Let's just go with a thing.
A thing. Okay, a forearm thing. That is their reaction. Like, why do I find them attractive on this person? I don't understand, but it's there.
Right? Yeah, but look at that little paragraph. It's a little ass paragraph, and how many adjectives were used to describe it?
So many.
So many.
So many.
Oh my gosh. All right, so we've got a different perspective on the whole rolling up the sleeves things. I'm very excited for this. It's from Business or Pleasure by Rachel Lynn Solomon. His skin is warm, his breath even. I take my time, making sure his sleeves are the same length, each roll of fabric revealing more freckles. When my thumb grazes the underside of his forearm, he twitches, but doesn't move away. The next time I do it, it isn't an accident, and his eyes lock on mine with a steady intensity. I didn't think rolling up the sleeves of a man's shirt could be erotic, but here we are.
I actually really, really like that one. That was really good. I have a thing for freckles though, so the freckles really like popped out for me. Like, I don't know why. I love freckles,
tattoos, forearms.
I know. I have so many. And then I'm over here like when she's describing touching the inside of his forearms with her thumb. I'm like, okay, why is that making him twitch? And then I did it to myself, and I'm like, oh, very sensitive. Okay.
Very, very sensitive. The inside of the soft hairless part of your forearm, or maybe all of your forearm is hairless. I do not know. This is a short one, but I feel like it's just really clear. From Say You'll Be Mine by Naina Kumar. The way his forearms had flexed when he'd washed the plates, she'd wanted to fan herself.
Okay, fair. Yeah.
Short, but like, I get it. Okay.
Yeah. Although it's the most mundane activity. I mean, they're all a mundane activity when describing forearms, but washing dishes.
You know what? It could also be that you love a man who is able to help in, like, you love a man who is confident enough to participate in the domestic work of a house. I get that. That is also a thing for people.
That is a thing. Mm-hmm.
So no flack for needing to fan herself. He's wet, he's soapy, he's doing the dishes. Could be like, it's not a wet. I know this scene. It's not a wet t-shirt contest, but you can imagine whatever you want to imagine.
Exactly.
Okay. King of Pride by Anna Huang. Steffi, I almost reordered this specifically because of our conversation before, but I'm sticking to my plan. Okay. Just for you.
Aw.
Right? I darted a glance at his forearms, tanned, muscled, corded with sexy veins and a light smattering of dark hair. An electric shiver ghosted down my spine before I yanked my eyes away. New Isabella does not drool over random men's forearms, no matter how hot they are.
I like her mental battle.
It reminded me of the statement you made earlier of people who like forearms were like, yeah, I guess we do. I guess this is good for me.
Exactly. Yes. That's so true. Spot on. I just love how she's like, no, I am not doing this.
But she does.
But she does.
Doing it. She is doing it.
Yes.
All right. The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston is our next one. And for those of you who know this book, I rearranged these quotes. They are not in order of when they appear in the book. Cool? Great. His shirt sleeve rolled up to expose muscular forearms is the first one. Okay. It's not chronologically the first one, but it is the shortest one.
Okay.
Very basic. And then the desk reflected the man behind it almost perfectly, too polished in a crisp white button-down shirt that strained at his broad shoulders, the sleeves rolled up to his elbows to reveal rather intimidatingly sexy forearms.
Intimidatingly sexy?
Yeah. I knew it. I was like, I gotta keep a straight face because I know what's coming.
That is such an interesting way to describe
intimidatingly sexy forearms. Cool.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, friends. Last one. You are gonna love this.
Okay.
I tried not to linger too much on his forearms. He had a tattoo on the underside of his right arm, halfway up toward the elbow, though his arms were folded, so I couldn't see the whole thing. Though I really wouldn't mind. Some people were shoulder people, some people were back people, some people were butt people. I, for all intents and purposes, was a forearm kind of girl.
Yes, that's my favorite. I love it so much.
I thought you would, both because tattoos. And yes. I like that she admits it. She's like, you know what? I love them. I love the forearm.
And she like lists off the shoulders and all of the other aspects. I'm like, that's perfect. I love that so much.
Right? Okay. Here is, oh my gosh, this book. 5 forearm quotes.
What?
I know. Here's the best part of it. It's from The Romantic Agenda by Claire Kahn. And this book, if you haven't listened to my May wrap up, this book centers around an asexual woman, Joy. And so while forearms are mentioned 5 times in this book, I think y'all will appreciate the way in which they are mentioned over and over again.
Oh, okay. Yes.
It's great. The first quote, She doesn't have to cross her legs at the sight of veiny forearms, perky breasts, bubble butts, or perfect abs. It just doesn't happen.
Yes. That is amazing.
That is so great.
I love that so much.
The next one is Joy tentatively traces the veins in his right arm again, starting at his elbow and trailing down, down, down until she reaches his palm.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'm like, y'all, I really highly recommend this book. It is so good.
Really think I need to check this one out. It sounds so fascinating.
Get it from your library. It's so great. The next. She puts him in charge of kneading with the instructions. Be gentle with the dough. Make sure you and your sexy forearms don't go overboard.
That's funny. I love that it's in the context of baking. Like, that's the best.
They're making pie.
Oh, even better.
This is so good. Okay, I'm going to switch these. I'm going to switch these last two. So, again, chronologically, not in order.
Okay.
Maybe we should play darts instead. Oh, good. Then I can compliment your form and your forearms again. Or not.
Oh, that's awesome. I love this because it is so outside the regular context that we get the forearms. It's so beautiful.
It's so good. And I love that Fox in this instance, she's talking about Fox, is like, I'm not sure how to respond to that. Or not. So this next paragraph has some dialogue, and y'all, I am not a voice actor. I do not do a male and female voice or female and male voice. Like, I don't do it. It's just all my voice, and you're kind of fucking stuck with it. But imagine if you were part of this as a dialogue. My sister is obsessed with forearms for some reason, especially when the guy is wearing a collared shirt and rolls up his sleeves. I don't get it, but according to her, you have good ones. You don't get why your sister thinks forearms are sexy or sexiness in general. The forearms, they're just arms. What's appealing about them? She laughs. I understand sexiness on an abstract level, when something or someone is considered desirable to the eye of the beholder and all that.
That is perfection. Like, that wraps up the definition of people who find forearms sexy. So, like, yep, we don't know either.
Oh my gosh. So, I loved it. I love that book. There is a little bonus book here. If you've been counting along, that is only 7 books. You are correct. There's an 8th book. It's Trial by the Sun Queen by Nisha J. Tooley. Now, here's the deal. The quote about forearms is only one adjective, and everything has one adjective. But then she brings in, I noticed a body part that is not often described in a different quote. So I figured if I was going to bring in something else, I might as well bring in the forearm quote. So typically what she does is something like this. My hands run down his shoulders, over his thick biceps, running along his corded forearms. So again, one adjective per body part. And that's typically what she does.
Okay.
Except then there's this one moment. Trying to focus on something other than the line of his throat and the way his shirt allows me to glimpse the exquisite curve of his collarbone.
Yes.
Right? And it's been a really long time since someone's described collarbones, and it hit me. And this is where I love my collarbones. I think my collarbones are a particularly attractive physical attribute on my body. And so I loved that this got noticed, and it's mentioned elsewhere in the book, but when was the last time I read a book and the word collarbone appeared?
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And see, so I have something called cuteness aggression, which basically, if you think something is cute or you really like it, mine is, I like to like just chomp onto my significant others. I like to chomp that part. So
honestly, that's a good chomping part because it's not fleshy and it doesn't really hurt, but it's like definitely a mouthful.
Yeah. Yes. Love those words. Also, just completely outside of any like sexual connotation, when I recently had bariatric surgery, and so I'm in the process of losing a lot of weight. And one of the first things I noticed when I lost a significant amount of weight was that I have a collarbone. Like, that was a non-scale victory for me. So I'm like, oh, hey. Like, so hearing the collarbone described was like, yes. Yeah. Yes.
Something that you can all know about me is I broke my collarbone when I was 2. And so it's always been a part of my body that my family has told stories of because it was a very significant thing in my young life. And so I think probably I was just very cognizant of it, but I love them.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of collarbones myself. I like it.
Chomp, chomp.
Chomp, chomp.
Well, there you have it, y'all. The forearm quotes I accumulated in the month of June. And I mean, I don't know if I'm ever going to find a 5-quote book again. Right? If you have a book that you know mentions forearms, maybe in excess.
Yeah.
Send it along because it can go on to next month's little mini-sode.
Absolutely.
Bye. That's it for today, y'all. This has been a 3 Paws Productions podcast. Our producer is Sephi. Michael Achenbach is our patient editor. Our theme song is written and performed by Diana Weishauer. You can find show notes and so much more at jacereadsromance.com. That's JAYCE Reads Romance. Follow along on TikTok and Instagram at Jace Reads Romance. If you'd like to ask a question or share a story for the podcast, call and leave a message at 661-JACE-RR. That's 661-529-2377. Or send an email to jace@jacereadsromance.com. Finally, like and subscribe so you can get every episode when they drop. You can also leave us a review to help others find us. And remember, this is Jace holding space for you.